Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to Let's Talk on Tuesday. You have to say it with the pause, okay? I'm Atara, I'm your host. First off, I would like to humbly apologize. I know I was supposed to go live, but just video just was messing with me this evening, okay? It just did not want to be a fair participant. I mean, I tried to go live, I tried to shoot a video. So now I just succumb to doing a voiceover. Hopefully, this is suffice. It was just very important for me to get this message out today to you guys. So, thank you. I do want to give a shout out to my aunt. I do see you. Hey, girl. Thank you for supporting. Much appreciated. Um, so, you guys, just to be complete transparent, I am new to this. I am navigating this new influencer life, if that's what you want to call it. So yeah, I do use a lot of filler words and I just don't know what I'm doing. I'm just trying to figure it out. And so just be patient with me. I promise I will always try to give the most accurate and truthful messages possible. If I am wrong in any way, I ask the Lord to please forgive me and, of course, correct me. Um, yeah, so with that being said, I like to just get right into it. The show is I planned for the show to be at least 45 minutes to an hour. Tonight, of course, will be a lot shorter because of all the technical issues that was just happening. And also, I pretty much just want to set the precedence of the expectations of what this show is about, what you can expect going forward as you grow with me and progress with me over these weeks as we, I talk about what I see and what I think. So don't be afraid to share your opinion. Talk back with me. Let me know. Again, I don't know everything. I'm still learning like everyone else. So yeah. Now, the title of tonight's episode is Where is Power Actually Moving? And the reason why I decided to title it this is because it's very important for me to get the people to start thinking outside of the noise, look beneath the surface of what is really being said and what does it mean to you. And one thing that I noticed is it's not just a race about who's going to be the dominant power player. It's about who will be the power players when it comes to systems that dictate our everyday life. Now, some of these systems you may be familiar with. Some of these systems are already at play. So it's just a matter of you better get in where you fit in or sucks to be you. That's pretty much the ideology behind it. Now, there's several systems that I want you to start paying attention to and start, connecting the dots and start thinking for yourself on how you will be able to be your own power player and take back control of your own life. Now, the first system that I would like to address is one that we are all aware of. This is where money is going. It's the shiny new object. It's the talk of the town, and that's AI, artificial intelligence. But not only artificial intelligence, it's also machine learning. And this is important because it does govern our everyday life. So this is going to show up in business, government, healthcare, education, and defense. Now, the second system is the digital money system. Now, you see this being pushed more and more every day, every week. This is the creation of digital currencies such as crypto and tokenization. This is moving away from the physical monetary system, obviously, to the digital one. Now, we have the critical minerals system. This is the raw earth materials that are required to make the infrastructure operate. This is one of the most important, in my opinion, as it will affect climate control, thus life itself. Okay? Now, this system that I want to address, this is the one where all the headlines are talking about right now, okay? So this is manufacturing and reshoring. This is pretty much all the major economies saying, you know what? We kind of changed our mind on fair trade. We want to bring everything back in-house, develop our own infrastructures, our own, start focusing on the neglect that they have succumbed their own economies to, obviously for money. So it's just a race of let's develop our own economies. Thus, will be the next global leader in whatever that thing is that they specialize. If that makes sense. Yes, excuse me. All right, the next one is the digital identity system. Now, this is the system where you see all of the protests and all of the rhetoric is coming from, because this is the one that affects your quality of life. So this is actually one of the second most important systems that you should be paying attention to, as this is power at play. So this is where you will start seeing things about, carbon footprinting, brain implants, things such as that. Now, the number one system is the information system. This is how they influence your thoughts, your actions, and your behaviors. This is why the celebrity and social media is so important to them. This is the data that funnels through all of these systems, okay? Now, right now, I would say power is being tested. Global power structures are going through a realignment because we are phasing into a new world. Over the last 40 years, you have seen power benefit from things such as cheap labor, globalization, borrowing money at cheap rates. Pretty much all of that has changed. Now, because things are coming back in-house and they're trying to get their own stuff together, they're now focused on managing things such as aging populations. And the reason that is because the majority of all the young people are moving out the country, their home country, to competitive nations, either for a better quality of life, more money, things of that nature. Of course, higher debt, because everyone is just over leveraged right now. It's more expensive to borrow capital, and then geopolitical competition. Now, here's another narrative that I want you to focus on, or at least ponder on. Who governs the governor? Why does this matter? Well, there's another race, and it's a race or a competition for your attention. Now, you guys, please forgive me. I know I use and a lot. So, I use a lot of filler words. Like I said, I'm still trying to figure out this new world for me. It's just where I'm at right now, okay? So, again, just please be patient with me. Over the next few weeks, I will get it together as I become more comfortable with this. Okay. Now, back to what we're talking about. So it was a competition for your attention. So what's happening now is, people are questioning authority. They have lost all confidence in government. And as we know, once trust is broken, it becomes harder to make decisions. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. Because information is accelerating faster than wisdom, outrage spreads more quickly than deliberate action. Ideas now scale globally in hours instead of decades. Attention has actually become more valuable than physical commodities. Why? Because without you, there is no power. Hence to the robot. So the obvious question in the room, at least for me, is, are these structures still serving the people? Or are we increasingly serving the structure? I would say we are increasingly existing just to serve the structure. Now, since power likes to use fear as a means of control, who should humanity trust and believe? what information is keeping you stuck in cycles, and which systems are providing you with understanding and clarity to survive in this new world. This is something to think about. Or, you know what? The real question that should be asked is, when power, wealth, fear, and social pressure demands your highest loyalty, whom will you ultimately serve? Money asks you, what do you value? Government asks you, who has authority? Information asks you, what do you believe? This allows power to keep cycling over time without you seriously questioning them. Remember, information influence, governance responds, money flows, which funds more information, which reshapes governance. That was the rinse and repeat model of the old world. Now there's rhetoric of a new world. I will say this, civilizations do not fail because they invent money. They fail when institutions become conscience. They fail when information replaces wisdom. Unhealthy civilizations begin asking life to serve the system. Healthy civilizations remember that systems exist to serve life. Only then can power remain at service. Now, I got a few predictions to keep it exciting, for the next few weeks or the next few lives. Again, these are just my predictions. Nothing is accurate. This is my opinion. However, if anything comes true, I want you to come back and comment. Now, again, don't be afraid to interact. I welcome all comments, all feedback, negative, positive. It's all a learning opportunity at best. Now, I've written down my predictions, so give me a moment, you guys, to, read this out my journal. So the biggest thing that one of the biggest things that I want you to pay attention to the next 7 days is the information. So expect, it's already here, but expect a lot of rapid change, like one thing after another. Like it's going to become just harder and harder for you to keep up with what's going on. And not saying that this is on purpose, that it's just the time that we're in, where information is just, it's just going fast. Okay, so you have to really pay attention. If you are a writer, journal, screenshot, and make a conscious decision to go back and revisit this information. That's how fast it's going to be going. You will get lost. Now, there was something that was trying to come into fruition that did not happen. So there needs to be a new something. Okay, you guys need to, first of all, you guys need to get in the mindset that we are energy and we live in an energetic world. That's why you have quantum computing. Think Einstein, think Tesla. Okay, so there was something that did not go as planned. So there needs to be a new cycle of energy to bring in some new goals that power has. So okay, so this goes back to, as I said before, where attention flows, energy goes. Or maybe it's the other way around, but you should understand, okay? So where attention goes, energy flows. So there may be a lot of deliberate, emotional upheaval, or a lot of information to really get you emotionally bothered. So you need to recognize the next 7 days your nervous system. Recognize when your shoulders are tense, and when that starts to happen, it could be after you read something, saw something on social media. Take a break, take a breather, and literally just relax your nervous system to get that tension out of your shoulders. So that is something that I want you guys to exercise. And also, pay attention to NATO. I'm sure that there is someone, a power player, who will secretly try to, back out of a deal. So pay attention to that, only because things are it's too much to keep up with. It's too confusing. It's all over the place. The plans are not clear, and they just rather focus on themselves. So that's something that I want you to pay attention to. In the headlines of a power player basically trying to renege on their commitment. And then, for those who have young children, the ones that I like to call them COVID children, now is the time to be more involved in their lives, in terms of they're at a state, they're called Generation Alpha, they're named Generation Alpha, excuse me. So they should be, this coming school season should be the start of them being initiated into the system. So for those parents, I will encourage you to get involved in your child's education and what is being taught, specifically those who have children within the Generation Alpha phase, if that makes sense. And then, this is a strong prediction, and, I just hope, I'm not trying to get people, in upheaval, but expect some type of another major disaster coming this week. Yeah. And then, and just don't be afraid to speak up for what's right. I mean, if you're at a grocery store, if you see something, say something. Because one of my mottos is, when you don't speak up, it means that you agree. All right? When you don't speak up for yourself, it means you agree. Therefore, you can't question, and you should not be complaining on what happens next, because you didn't say nothing. So that is it for this episode. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to say. But in order for everything to come together, it makes sense, to have that aha epiphany moments, you have to tune in. So I hope to see you guys next week. Next week, I do plan on having everything fixed, so we will be on live. And I thank you for your time. You guys have a great evening. Bye.